Hey guys, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at Aaliyah. We are doing a spiritual mediumship reading. So I am burning my protection incense from moonlucklove.com, and if you guys head over, I have a video up for the 500 subscriber giveaway, so you can enter to win over there a $50 gift card from moonlucklove.com, as well as a 30-minute phone reading from me as a thank you for the subscribers. Make sure you guys keep subscribing, liking, commenting, doing all the things, because we're going to be doing giveaways, you know, again at 750 subscribers and then again at 1,000. I really do appreciate everything, you guys liking, commenting, sharing. It has really helped the channel grow, and I really do truly appreciate it. Also, shout out to the person who made me a channel banner. I am going to have it up. I was sick when you sent it, and I just appreciate that so much. And they wouldn't tell me their name so that I could credit them or thank them, but I really appreciate it. Carlene also, Psychic Carlene V, made me an intro video, and I just have to take the time to sit down and figure out how to attach it to the videos. But I will do that, and I appreciate that as well. So we are going to just cleanse our space. We're going to call in spirit. We're going to see if we can connect to the spirit of Aaliyah and just see what information that we can pick up from there. So, oh, Spirit, Father, God, Universe, any name that you go by, please bless and cleanse this space. Bring protection. I call upon Archangel Michael to usher in the spirit of Aaliyah, if she so chooses to join us, or spirit guides who want to come through to communicate and give us the answers. We ask that only kind and benevolent spirits connected to Aaliyah enter this space to answer any questions, share any information, and anything that we should know as fans. We love Aaliyah. We love your spirit. This is a safe space for you to join us, to share any information that you have with us. Cleanse the space of all previous energies, readings, spirits, anything that would prevent us from having a true divine connection to the spirit of Aaliyah. Aaliyah, we love you so much. We thank you for all of your contributions to this work, to this planet. And we thank you for joining us and sharing your story as you choose to share it. Thank you, Spirit, for protecting us. Thank you for blessing the energy of Aaliyah. Thank you for blessing, protecting, and guiding all who participate in this video, all who we ask about, and all who watch. And your divine guiding light come down and shine upon us. Okay. Father God, we call you in to answer any questions. Connect us to the energy of Aaliyah. We love you, Aaliyah. We love you, God. We thank you both for joining us today and bringing in Archangel Michael, as well as Saint Reader, any saints around Aaliyah, sisters, guides who protect her, to show her into this calm, safe space to answer any questions that we have. Oh, Spirit, what is that you would like us to know today in regards to you, to your spirit, and messages that you would like to share with the world in regards to your life, your passing, your legacy, what you plan to do in your back. Thank you, Aaliyah, for joining us. Thank you, Spirit, for bringing her in. Amen. Okay. This was like, Aaliyah's been in my heart so much this last year anyways. I am a huge Aaliyah fan. She, you know, was coming up around the same time that I was starting to really get into music, when I was, you know, 11, 12 years old. And I just thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world, you know, and so did all my friends, and we all wanted to be like her. And high school 4-page letter, you know, we were all singing that, thinking about the boys we had crushes on and everything. And it broke my heart when she passed. And I still to this day listen to More Than a Woman every single day. I have a playlist that I listen to get myself in a good mood to start my day, and that is one of the top songs on there. And I, like I said, I literally listen every single day. And you guys know I talk about my friend Erica a lot on here, and that's why I said that's why I know she is my soulmate, because she said that was her favorite song. She posted it recently, and I was like, I listen to that song every day. So that's a good song to listen to. Also, if you're trying to manifest love. I just like the upbeat part of it, and I just love it because it's Aaliyah, and it's just always been a song that I've adored by her. But I love all of her music. You know, she has a great catalog. She's such a good dancer, too. Like, she was just Aaliyah, you know, she could do everything. And so it was really heartbreaking to lose her. But for some reason, she'd been on my heart so much anyways. And then Tasha K went and had that stupid ass interview. So I was like, you know what? We were going to do this anyway. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Because, again, you know, let me just preface this, because I said in another video that Tasha K was entertaining, but I didn't take everything that she said seriously. Because I hardly watch her. Like, I watch her like maybe once a month. But I am tired of corny ass people pulling trash moves. And you let two white ladies who obviously have their head stuck up R. Kelly's ass get on your channel and say that a 15-year-old child was a strong black woman. Maybe when Aaliyah died, she was a strong black woman, but when R. Kelly victimized her, she was a little girl. And I don't care, like, if Tasha's gonna say, oh, I didn't agree with what they said or whatever. You had a moment to check them, boo. Because trust me, people say dumb shit to me all the time, and I check them. And I wouldn't care if I was interviewing somebody, giving them a reading, whatever. You start saying racially biased, stupid shit to me, or talking shit about victims, and I'm gonna call your ass out. And Tasha should have done the same damn thing. So that was just the end of it for me with her. You know, I'm sick of her starting shit with people who are victims. Deal with your own issues, lady. Stop taking it out on everybody else. So anyways, getting into Aaliyah's energy, I just had to say that because it's been pissing me off. You know, the first thing that I'm getting here is, number one, she, you know, in these cards, it's talking about this relationship that she had with Dame Dash. You know, it wasn't what he and everybody has portrayed it to be since. And what I'm hearing from Spirit is, it's that, you know, when he wants to portray her as the love of his life and they'd still be together if she was here, and the way that he talks about things and everything, it's like that's a lot of his guilt that he holds on to, as far as how he maybe wasn't so honest or faithful to her in that relationship. Which, if you do look at the timeline of when he had his first kid with Rachel Roy, it's pretty obvious, right? And then you ended up with that woman right after that. And so what it's talking about here with this Four of Wands, the Six of Coins, the Faith card, and the Eight of Wands is that, you know, things were not as they seemed, and they're still not as they've been told. Not that there wasn't any happiness there, it just isn't the full story that we've been getting, right? Or that he's been telling. Because he does show up as this King of Cups with this Nine of Cups and this Eight of Coins, that he looks back at this relationship as the best relationship he ever had. He looks back at it as, I messed up. Like, I had somebody that was amazing and I was dumb and young, and I should have nurtured that more. I should have done more to keep that relationship going, because he does feel like some of the, like, he should have, like, he could have protected her, you know? And so I think that that's some of the guilt that comes through, on top of, yeah, I wasn't being entirely faithful to you, that makes him go overboard in, you know, saying what he does and doing what he does, because it is coming from this place of, you know, guilt. And the thing is here, though, like what the cards in Spirit are talking about is, with this Emperor and this Three of Swords and this Tower card, if they had stayed together, they would have ended in disaster, because that girl would have popped up pregnant and Aaliyah would have been like, hey, I thought we were dating, you know, and this would have been this heartbreak caused by him and his actions. So it wasn't, you know, this like perfect, faithful relationship that he now makes it seem to be when he's reminiscing about it. And also with this 4 of coins, this 10 of coins, this strength card here, it's talking about that Aaliyah was aware of it. She had her suspicions. She was actually going to confront him and talk to him about it when she came back, but unfortunately things fell apart. But she was very aware that he was out dipping around. She wasn't a stupid girl. Like, she was used to the game. She was used to this business. She was used to dudes doing stuff like that. That's why she didn't feel bad about starting off with Jay-Z and moving on to Dame, because it was like, y'all do this to everybody else. You're going to do it to me, so why wouldn't I do it right back to you? But at the same time, you know, like, for Dame to act like they were going to get married and have babies and do all this stuff and everything, it's like it wouldn't have worked out that way because of the things that he was doing at that time. So, and again, you know, here's these cards confirming it. Here's this emperor who was out screwing around with a bunch of people, and he would have ended up having to make a choice, but that was taken away from him, obviously. But, and then, of course, you know, this 9 of Swords, he was very heartbroken, and he had to pick things up and keep moving forwards to live his life. Because it's like, you're left here. What are you going to do? You know, you can't, you have a kid on the way. You got to keep moving. And see, again, it's like with this Devil and this 5 of Swords, the Ace of Wands, you're not keeping it in your pants, you know, and so now here she, with this Page of Cups and Knight of Swords, finding out, walking away. So they wouldn't have ended up together, you guys. And I just keep hearing that he has so much guilt because he feels like I not only betrayed you in that sense, but it's something about the accident that happened. Like, if he had been there with her, had been a better partner, something, you know, like, you wouldn't have been there and this wouldn't have happened. So, which, you guys, I mean, regardless, I think that anybody in that situation, whether you're cheating or not, you know, like, you would feel like, oh my God, if I went with you, or if I'd said, wait, don't go this time, or oh, stay an extra day, like, you're gonna feel that way, you know, like, there's something I should have known, I should have done something. So, and she doesn't fault him, you guys. Like, it's talking about, like, she doesn't fault him for that. Like, she understands. That was the time we were in. That was the game that people played. That was the rules of this life. You know, there's some things that it's like, okay, if we're just starting out, or if we're not super serious, or as long as, like, everybody doesn't know about it, I can look the other way. But when there's a kid or something big, you know, like, then those are the moments when, yeah, you have to move on or whatever, do something about it. But it's like she wants him to forgive himself, because she keeps talking about that he doesn't live enough in the present, and she wants him to forgive himself because he lives too much in the past, and that anger that he has from the past is holding him back from being able to be truly happy and be truly present and to actually be able to get things accomplished in his life. And she said that a lot of this stuff, because he's so focused on what happened with her, that then when he starts thinking about that time period where it's like, oh, when me and Aaliyah were together, and then he's like, oh, that mother effer, you know, that back then that I was doing this deal with, and then he screwed me over later. And so she said it's like he goes around and starts collecting all these memories, good and bad, and then starts focusing on them so much, and then gets himself worked up. And that is, you know, what's holding him back and kind of his downfall, and keeping him from being able to really just be happy. And actually, you know, because Damon Dash, he has good ideas and he makes good points, but he falls out with everybody, and then nothing ever gets taken off of the ground, you know, and because he doesn't want to listen to people because he thinks he knows everything. And Aaliyah's saying, her spirit guides, whoever's communicating with me, is saying, you know, that him holding on to all of this anger and him holding on to all of that stuff, it's just such a block. It's like you have 90% of it, but the 10% that needs the action doesn't happen because you're putting up this block of energy of anger and being focused on the wrong things. And then, you know, part of it is self-defense mechanisms where it's like, no, I know what I'm doing. I don't want anybody else involved because I don't want to get screwed over. But she's like, if he learns to listen to himself and his intuition, which he will after he forgives himself, he won't have to always be so defensive because he'll be able to spot who's right and wrong from the start. And that's what was his biggest asset and his greatest gift, was being able to see those things for himself ahead, you know, and have that intuition. This is the person to work with. That's not the person to deal with. But it got covered up since because of all the other things that have been happening in his life and in his spirit. So, Spirit, what else should we know in regards to Aaliyah? Any messages that she wants to bring? And because this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only, I am not purporting to be speaking to Aaliyah directly. Although I am. And we are going to try to be as respectful as possible, you know, in the questions that we ask. So that's why I'm just kind of pulling cards and letting the energy steer where we are right now. If we might end up doing a part 2 where we ask more specific questions, if this gets too long. Okay, so right now, with this Emperor, this is Rob R. Kelly. And this wheel card, like, she's saying his karma has finally caught up with him. For all of the hurt, the pain, the things that he's done to so many other women over the years with this 9 of Swords and this 5 of Swords. Now here he is in his own heartbreak moment with this 3 of Swords and this Tower card. And the other people being involved in this heartbreak moment is the people speaking up, obviously the victims, because they are, you know, coming forwards, and we're still going to hear more. There is more that is to come, you guys, from other people that we don't know who they are. Like, there's going to be some anonymous testimony is what they're saying that's going to come up that is going to really, like, be the thing that, you know, is going to be that nail in the coffin for him. But she's talking about her, like, watching very closely over this, because she feels like in the past, you know, when they have tried to come for him to get him, you know, like, he weaseled his way out of it or whatever with this 6 of Cups and this Hangman. So she's watching and waiting, and she is very hopeful, you know, that the justice will be served in this case, because she feels like something has to stop him. And with this 2 of Wands and this Palace of Coins and then this 5 of Cups, obviously everything has fallen down around him as things have come to light. With this Magician and the 10 of Swords, and then again, if you guys remember, like I said, this deck has 2 3 of Swords in it, and I leave it in there because I'm like, Spirit wanted it in there for some reason. We have the Magician, the 10 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords. So it's like he's not going to be able to get himself out of this. And this time around, the people who tried to get him last time are able to get him this time. So she's, you know, saying that it's like, it's not something that people wish on people, like, oh, I wish you go to prison. You know, nobody ever really wants somebody's downfall, but if you're going around hurting all these other people, then of course you need to, you know, reap the consequences for that. So she definitely is, you know, her spirit is a part of this. It's almost like the way that they keep showing me is this empty courtroom and him sitting on the stand, and there's just a lawyer and a judge there, and she's sitting in the back of the courtroom watching and just being like, I didn't get my justice, but hopefully somebody else can. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry. That was just like so emotional, like seeing her in there and like feeling like she was so hurt by somebody and nobody was able to help her, like, because it's talking about when it happened to her, there was like, and everybody knew, but she didn't get therapy. She didn't get help. It was just like, you have to just keep moving on. You have to forget about it. You have to act like it didn't happen because there's so much at risk. And she was just forced to shove it down. And that's hard. And that's so painful for her, you know, that she had to walk around with that after going through that. Like, I can feel her sadness so much. And she's just talking about like being a little broken girl by herself in her room crying and wanting to give up, but having all these people depending on her and feeling this weight on her that she just had to pretend like everything was okay. And it's literally like every day I got up and put a smile on my face and pretended like it wasn't happening while it was happening and afterwards. Oh my God. Okay, so Spirit, what else does Aaliyah want us to know in regards to R. Kelly, her situation with him, this case, anything that she has, any messages in regards to R. Kelly? I am so sorry that happened to you, Aaliyah, and that nobody listened to you or gave you the support and love that you needed. And I hope that your spirit is able to find peace with that. Because nobody should ever be made to feel that way. She's saying in a past life, her and Rob were like very close childhood friends, and he wanted to be with her when they got older, and she chose somebody else. And so part of it, their dynamic, was him coming back to hurt her for hurting him. So she's talking about that being at a young age and being as talented as she was in this position that she was put in, she was forced into this Queen of Coins position to take care of others, and having all of these people depending on her, and her feeling like at times, I'm not a kid, like I'm a grown-up, you know, so she didn't understand the consequences of being in grown-up situations, you know, because she just felt like I had to grow up really fast and I wasn't like other kids. And so with this Death card and this Six of Swords and this Page of Wands, it's talking about that, you know, that was the end of her childhood and her being forced to grow up and be this woman that was providing for so many people and bringing in money and in charge of so much at such a young age, and people around her expecting her to just basically put up with any of the abuse that would come her way, you know, whether people were, you know, making her sing for 24 hours straight because they had a deadline to record something and she's exhausted and hasn't had any food and water or whatever, you know, down to if they want you to, you do it. You do what you need to do to take care of everybody around you. And here comes this King of Swords with this devil energy pulling her into this lover situation that ended with this Three of Swords pain for her. So, she is confirming that that did happen and she was hurt. She doesn't want to say any more than that. Which we respect, when this all came out, when there was people stepping in and being like, hey, no, you're not getting married. You can't do this with her. You can't do this stuff. She was very scared because I feel like there was a lot of pressure around her that she might lose her career behind it. Even though she felt like what she got involved in, she had no choice with. And obviously as a minor, she had no, way to consent anyways. But she didn't feel like she had choices is what it's talking about. But she was, really scared. She was happy to be away from him, but she was really scared that her career was over and that the people around her were going to be hurt because of it. So she took on a lot of guilt and a lot of stress in this. And she really, 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 again, that's where it's like coming up, like, you can't cry about this. You can't sit there and mope. You can't run away from it. You need to go back out and fight because people are depending on you. We need you to take care of this family. So she just had to suck it up and keep going. God, everybody failed you, Aaliyah. I'm so sorry. Okay, you guys, it's getting really long, the video, so I'm going to cut it off here, and I will come back and record part 2 so we can finish this up. I just don't want to, upload an hour and a half long video. But make sure you guys stay tuned for part 2. We're going to see what other messages that Aaliyah has for us. Apologize for crying. It is very hard not to when you're feeling somebody's gut-wrenching pain like that. If you wanted to book your own personal private reading with me, all my information will be in the description box below. This is part 1. Part 2 will be done and uploaded shortly. Thanks, guys.